Don't you know no good? Don't. Okay, let me stop playing around. Greetings, collective. It's me, Senpai Swanee, and thank you for joining me in another of our Tokyo sessions, a safe place for us to learn together, heal together, and ascend together. Trust that the universe is on your side and has entrusted you with the power and authority to help bring the divine vision to life. Take your place as co-creator with confidence. Take what resonates, but if it does not apply, let it fly. You are the gatekeeper. Create love, create beauty, create greatness. Let me go ahead here. Let me get my timer started as well. We'll get the Palo Santo lit. Yeah. I think I've been manifesting a good singing voice, so singing in the background. Let me stop playing with myself. Anyway, there is ancestors of the highest light, archangels Michael, Metatron, Raphael, Gabriel, Uriel, Azrael, Ariel. Dear divine most high God, I humbly ask for your presence, your protection during this reading. Let me be a vessel in which truth and guidance are fostered so that we as a collective may walk in alignment with our highest selves on this spiritual journey. May every evil eye go blind and every ill intention collapse into the depths of darkness, never to see light. We come to you with open hearts and minds, seeking clarity, wisdom, and courage. We honor your presence and are eternally grateful for your love. Ashe and Amen. Okay, so that's good there. All right, next, let's go ahead and start here. Let's start with our tarot deck and see, coming right out the gates already. Okay, we have a King of Swords in our midst here. This could be someone within the collective. Again, there is no gender in tarot. This could be a female operating in her masculine energy. This could be a masculine watching this video, okay, operating in a King of Swords energy. What's a King of Swords energy, okay? As you can see from the heart, and what I also say, look at the clouds, okay, in the background here. When it comes to the Queen and the King of Swords, the clouds aren't so much around their head as they are with the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. They're more so from the chest and below. Think of the clouds as, in a sense, like clouded judgment, okay? And again, because the clouds aren't around his head, but more so around his heart, the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords tend to be a bit more head over heart, okay? They are source, of course, air, are intellectual beings. The next card to come out here, let me see here. We have the Four of Swords. So whoever this is sitting in this King of Swords energy right now, it looks like he has been alleviated. Okay, it looks like maybe there was some kind of turmoil. Maybe there was like a fight that was had. And maybe that fight, it seems like that fight has come to an end. Okay, so now he's sleeping a little better. However, this fight ended, whether he exercised that sword energy and just cut everything, or if the argument, the fight was ended admirably. We do have a Nine of Wands, however, card to come out after that, as well as a Page of Pentacles. Okay, you know my Page of Pentacles, that's my Will You Marry Me card. So what I get from this is, it looks like then that whatever fight ended with this King of Swords, okay, it did end admirably. However, it did sort of leave a sort of feeling of insecurity. Maybe that insecurity was why the fight itself ended. I get that he presented, if I'm speaking to my feminine energies, okay, this King of Swords presented to you a sort of love offering. If we pulled out the Kipper deck, that's what it would say, love offering, right? Maybe he wasn't fully expressive of this love, because it is the Page of Pentacles that comes out. Okay, pages tend to be a bit more inexperienced in things. So those the pinnacle. Let's think of the pinnacles as him not necessarily trying to give up his, like, funds or health or anything like that, but a show of love. But his show of love was fairly novice. Okay, and then again, the Nine of Wands tells me that his novice efforts cause this insecurity within them. So this may be your significant other. It caused a sort of, or not caused, but it was due to an insecurity. Okay, maybe you get a lot of attention, I should say, from like other suitors. Yeah, and okay, look, Queen of Pentacles, exactly. Okay, maybe like I say, you actually, however you're out here, whatever it is you're doing, whether you're like a boss chick, in her bag, whether you're beautiful, like I say, when you go out, you get attention, not just when you go out, but like wherever you are. Maybe it's your personality, maybe it's your beauty and your personality, maybe your personality enhances your beauty, and it causes like you to get like attention from guys. At the same time, I always say it's always so much easier for women to get attention from men than it is for like a man to get attention from women, because women try to be more conservative as far as who we give our attention to. We like being approached most of the time as opposed to being the one being the pursuer, because to be the pursuer is masculine energy. So it's like you and your Queen of Pentacles energy, you do have a lot of people who kind of like come to you in these Page of Pentacles, not even Page of Pentacle energies, but they offer you, their attention. They offer you relationships and things. And so it made your King of Swords over here feel insecure. Again, this Nine of Wands energy, like how do I breathe without you? He stopped. But it did kind of like, it made him feel just kind of like, why would she pick me kind of deal here. And it's like he stepped up his game. He did go from a Page of Pentacles to a full-on Knight of Cups. Okay, and what I love about the Knight of Cups is like how you look at the horses of all the knights, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Swords, you see their horse rushing in. The Knight of Pentacles, you see his horse at a full standstill, but then you see the Knight of Cups here, and it's like his horse is just making this elaborate, ostentatious step forward, like this big presentation. Okay, so it's like I say, it could have been this Page of Pentacles here, like stepping up to let you know, listen, I care about you. I want to be in this relationship with you. So he did finally like step up to the plate to let you know this in a more, obvious way, whether that was kind of write you a song, write you a sonnet, or just be, a lot more forthcoming. He did something there to let you know, and that could have been what ended this fight here. Like you forgave him, or not even necessarily forgave him, but you were willing to like come more into this connection here. Okay, we have the Hermit card here. All right, so it's quite possible, and it's crazy because he sees you as like this beautiful woman. He sees that like you get attention, from, again, male suitors and things like that. But you, like most of us anyway, you actually tend to be more so to yourself. You're not as much attention as you get. Just because you get the attention doesn't mean you're always, biting the bait kind of deal. Doesn't mean you're always on a date. Doesn't mean, you always have guys in your face. You're more of a hermit. Like you rather have your one guy, in Netflix and chill. Page of Wands. Okay, exactly. And that's you. Divine Feminine, who I'm picking up on. It's that, like, like I say, you rather keep things simple. You rather get you your one wand here and that's the one person that you're going out on a date with. That's the person that you rather just be in the house, let's cook a meal together, and like I said before, Netflix and chill, or Amazon Prime and chill. People don't give Amazon Prime its props, and Hulu too, because some pretty good series come out on Hulu as well, but Netflix and chill, sure. Okay. And maybe not even that. Maybe, you like going on walks with him, walking on the beach and things like that. But even though you have these options, you still have your preference, judgment. Okay. And so at the end of all of this, you maybe when he kind of like stepped forward and he let you know how he felt, you kind of gave him a peace of mind and let him know how you feel. A whole lot of cards just came out here. I'm going to take the one on top here, which is the star, and I'm going to take the one that's flipped over in the deck here, which is the Queen of Swords. Okay, so exactly, listen, your star, you can have, it's not that you can have anyone that you want. I don't know, maybe you can, divine feminine, okay, but it's like you operate in this Queen of Swords energy, to where, like I say, you're not dealing with everyone. You're not for everyone. You're not in the streets like that. And unfortunately, maybe like you do kind of like not have the reputation, but people assume it about you. Like, okay, and maybe that again is one of the things here that made your masculine sort of intimidated by you. Is that he probably looked at you and was like, you probably have a whole list of guys to choose from that, at any moment, if you get bored, you call up one of them, or, you're probably like the player chick or something like that. What he doesn't realize, or what he didn't realize, is that you're actually a whole empress. You're not just the Queen of Swords operating in this Queen of Swords energy, but it's because you're an empress. Like I said, you're not for everyone. You're not a hoe. Okay, you're actually more reserved with your body. You think he'd understand that, considering, it's not like, I don't know, the way everything is here and the way he's feeling. I don't get that. I don't know, maybe you two have been intimate with one another. Maybe you haven't. Maybe even if you have been intimate with one another, it wasn't like on a first date kind of thing. It was something where it's like he had to like observe and respect the Ten of Swords. Maybe he even tried it and got shot down, and he found out the hard way, the long way, that like you're not just out here giving your body up like that. We have the King of Pentacles came out, and then we have the Four of Wands came out. Okay, so it's now that he can see how, like, what you're on. It, like I say, it put him to work, okay, and then it put him in his like Four of Wands energy, where like, okay, now that he sees that like you are like a stand-up woman, you are in this Empress energy, like he can actually trust you to like build something or invest more heart, emotions, life with you. So it's like now, like I said, with that Knight of Cups that came up there, as well as this King of Pentacles that came up. Now he's a lot more serious about the relationship, and he's willing to be more serious about the relationship because of this Four of Swords here, where now that he sees you're in this Empress energy, it's put him at rest. It's put a lot of his insecurities, it's put a lot of his doubts to rest. Okay, he's come to this judgment that what, you are really like this beautiful person, whether you're into like spirituality, or what have you, chakras aligned and things like that, that the star talks about confirmation here. It's a lot more respect in it. Okay, the Ten of Wands came out, so that much is put to rest, but there's still some other things that he's worried about here. I think because you have within your Empress energy what you most look. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords come out, one on top of the other in the fold out here. So it's like what he does see most about you is that You're a very hard worker, and you know your curb game is on point. And to a certain extent, it's like he feels confident now that he can trust you to not be sitting up here like playing him, essentially is what that is. But now is he's still worried that, like, you know, okay, like your cutoff game is super strong. He knows at any moment, like, if he moves the wrong way, you don't mind being single. You don't mind ending, you know, the situation, the relationship that you two have, and just moving solo YOLO. What card is this that's out here? Exactly. Eight of Swords. You really, like, look, you will move, like, until, you know, divine, pretty much. You'll move in such a way that you're willing to be solo, you're willing to be single, you're willing to be by yourself, isolated, or however you want to call it, until divine, you know, brings you something that feels freeing, that feels worth it, that makes you happy. Because, like, you and the connection that you have with the universe, you understand that you deserve nothing less, and all it is a matter of being patient and waiting on it. Okay, that worries him. I get from our King of Swords, our Page of Pentacles here, that it's not that he's not patient, but he really likes you, Collective, Empress. Okay, and let me see, there's some other cards. Jeez, there's a lot of cards flipped out here. Baby, everything is coming out. Okay, he worries that, like, because you don't mind being in this Nine of Pentacles energy here, that you don't mind being single, there's kind of like an anxiety that's created with him, Page of Swords, to where he realizes that he can't Temperance in reverse. He cannot mess this up. And he feels like, to a certain extent, he is like a fuck up, you know, like in his past relationships, it's been, you know, the reason they didn't work was because of him. And it's not that, you know, he went out and he, you know, had third party relationships. It's more so that, you know, the person he was with, you know, the feminine energies, the other karmics or whatnot, he doesn't realize that they were karmics, that, you know, they just weren't meant to be, and things like that, that they put him in third party situations, and he's always internalized it as it was something with him. He wasn't enough, he wasn't doing enough, you know, he didn't show up. Nine of Cups. And it's like, he loves the way you make him feel, because you really do make him feel that, you know, even the bit that he does, and I wouldn't even call it the bit that he does, what he does is enough, because he's never been recognized, like the work that he's put in towards his previous relationships. He's never been recognized. That hard work has never been appreciated before in previous relationships. And it's like, you show him, you let him know like how much he is appreciated, but he realizes too that at the same time, when those insecurities and things like kind of tower down on him, okay, and he feeds into that negative energy, you have no problem walking away. So it's like, he loves you, but it's like at the same time he's scared of you. He really wants this, but at the same time he's so afraid of losing it. He's so afraid of messing this up. Okay, look, we have the Two of Cups came out, but the Two of Cups came out in reverse. He is so afraid of messing up this relationship. I would encourage, you know, how do you, I imagine, look, Page of Swords. I want to say, like, you know, kind of rest his anxieties a bit. Let him know that, listen, you know, he's afraid of fully investing in this relationship and then you walking away every time you get mad, anytime, you know, he doesn't do right by the relationship and it's an honest mistake. He is sincerely trying in this relationship, and he needs reassurance from you that you're willing to stay in the relationship and work things out. Even when he messes up, and keep your boundaries. Like, listen, what are deal breakers? Okay, well, if you go and you entertain the third party, that's a deal breaker. But if you don't text me right away or something like that, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. If you go out with the homies and then you don't come back home, say you're living together, you don't come back home till the next morning, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. But if I'm smelling perfume on you, if I'm seeing lipstick on your collar, it's a deal breaker. So he needs to know that you're in this long term, and you're not just gonna walk away every time you make a wrong assumption. Every time, not even necessarily a wrong assumption, but like sometimes like you might feel like he didn't do enough. Like you wanted cake and ice cream, but all he brought was pie. I don't know, just a quick little something there. Like he wants the reassurance that like you are in this for the long haul. If you can like reassure him of that, if you can show him that you are in this for the long haul, Page of Pentacles, baby, he's willing to wife you up. I know, you're in your Nine of Pentacles energy, and it's not like, oh, well, it's not like you're looking to be wiped up or anything like that. You're good on your own, but, everybody who doesn't want, a divine union, a divine partnership, like a beautiful marriage and a happy life, and you get to be a happy wife operating in your soft girl energy with this King of Cups. I ain't making this up. So let me see here. What deck then? I mean, the tarot has told us all about this relationship here. What I want to go to like really emphasize on we get that. Well, let's take a look and see exactly how this divine masculine feels about you. What is this deck here? I feel like I haven't loved tarot. I haven't been in this deck for a long time. Let's see what we're going to get out of our love tarot deck here. Oh, yay. A love reading. I love it. Oh, I should have did the romance angels as well. Maybe I'll go to that deck next. Let's see what I can get out of here. You're mine. I get so pissed knowing other people can have you now. You see, like I say, he's haunted by the idea of like when you go out and he's not there, and like he knows that like men approach you. He knows it, and just the idea of it, like it upsets his stomach. I get so pissed knowing other people can have you now. Is it toxic? Yeah, I don't care. I want the world to know you're mine. Okay? Like, listen, he wants the entire world. He wants to tattoo his name on your forehead, except it might take away from your beauty. Like he wants to put a ring on it, so like when you walk out, it'll deter people from coming up to you. It'll deter men from hitting on you because they'll see the ring. Little does he know that it actually does not deter a man, because how many times have you been out and you've told a guy that, you have a guy, you have a man, and they've said, okay, well, let's just be friends. And you have to be like, look, I don't have friends like that. Why would I want you as my friend? I got a whole man. This here says, you're my soulmate. Oh my God. It must be written in the stars, because you most definitely are my destiny. We belong together. This man loves you so freaking much. Collective, divine, feminine, beautiful empress. This man freaking loves you. All he wants is the reassurance that you are willing to stay in this, that you're not gonna, for sure, like he gets it, you're an empress, he gets that, like you're not gonna like be entertaining third parties, but he needs to know that, like, when it comes to fights and things like that, that you're willing to stay and work it out, and you're not just gonna, get pig-headed and walk away and block him, and he's never gonna see you again, because like he really does feel like you are where he's meant to be forever. Like you're home, you're his soulmate. What's this card here that wants to kind of come out? You're mysterious. I can never seem to figure you out. Sometimes I feel like you're hiding something from me. Never really know where I stand with you. You see? So like I say, that's the insecurity for him. It's not so much of like you entertaining a third party. He's not worried about like guys and things like that, because he respects that, like when it comes to that, you're Queen of Swords. Like you'll tell a dude, quick, I got a man. And even when they be like, what your man got to do with me, you let them know, look, I got a man. So I take from this that you're into him as well. Like you really do like him. And it's like, I think you have been very forthcoming about your feelings for him, and it's aggravating because it's more so been him. And like I say, for a very long time, he's been in this Page of Pentacles energy, where it's like, even though you're letting him know how you feel about him, you might even drop the love bomb on him or whatnot. And it's only until recently that he want to step up a little bit, more into this Knight of Cups energy, this King of Cups energy, because now he's afraid, that he'll lose you. And it's like, look, you can't step up where every time, you're afraid that you might lose me. If you're telling me that, you love me and that I'm your destiny and things like that, then you need to be fully into this. This says focus on my money. I'm currently focused on my career and finances. My main priority is financial stability. Okay. And that is you, Divine Feminine, because it's like I say, the fact that he's been kind of before just in this Page of Pentacles energy is like, again, is what makes you such a respectable person, is that, again, you don't go out seeking attention because you feel like he's not giving you enough attention, or he's not, telling you all the right things that you want to hear. You just go deeper into your bag. You just worry more about your stability. But it's time for you. Yeah, it's great. And I get that you're not necessarily the type of woman, you're not necessarily the type of feminine energy that's looking to just kind of like rest on your laurels and just be taken, care of. But at the same time, the beautiful thing about soft girl energy is that you don't have to be in survival mode anymore. And it's like, we as women, we as like these feminine, divine feminine energies, we as empresses, okay, once we can not be in survival mode, is we can more so embrace our nurturing side. You can embrace all the things that he like completely wants. He's already smitten with you, but once he can like really get you in like this soft girl energy and like really like open up to him, like this union will be so freaking beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, let me see here what else we have. I think I'm gonna oh no, your perfection. Like, he thinks you're the bee's knees. He thinks you're perfection. Your beauty amazes me. He thinks you're beautiful. Again, this is why he had the insecurities. It's because he looks at you and it's like, how did I get that? How did I get this lucky? How did I get this blessed? What did I do to get this, yield this blessing from the universe? Okay. I'm not sure how I attracted in someone like you, but I'm forever grateful. Like, you got this man freaking spiritual. Okay, you got this man. It doesn't matter if he says, dear divine, most high God, source, Allah, whatever it is that he prays to, you got him being grateful to his God for you being in his life. Beautiful, feminine, empress. Okay, like this man he is head, not even though that King of Swords came out, that was the first card that came out, and I think again that's just more so him trying to he's always, even though it's crazy because it's like, even though he wants you fully in this connection, he's always trying to pull himself back and try not to fall so deeply in love with you, but he just can't help himself. Like, you're such a beautiful spirit. Let me see if I'm going to get anything else from this before I sit this down here. And I want to go to the romance. Oh, do I want to go to the romance angels? I kind of want to get a little naughty here. Let's go to sexual magic and see. Like, we get that he thinks like you're perfect. We get that he thinks you're beautiful, that you're divine, that you're graceful, that you're nurturing. Okay. What I want to get, what we haven't heard, is exactly what you think of him. Okay, and we're not pulling on the sexual magic deck because we figured like you must be in some kind of lustful energy, but these decks over here do tend to give us more of a feminine perspective, in which case this says fulfillment. Let me see what I'm going to cover up here before I place this card. You probably can't see within, okay, I guess you can see it over there. You see the man kind of laying on some kind of almost like an altar in a sense, and he is holding his man piece, and it's like you're standing there and you're naked and you're watching him. And if you see this, he has it could just be a candle that's just at his head, but at the same time what you recognize is that there's like a flame at his crown chakra. Whether he knows it, whether you both are spiritual or what, you recognize his connection with the divine. And because you're an empress, because of like how spiritual you are, you understand how rare and how beautiful it is to have a masculine energy in connection with divine. When I was younger and my mom used to take me to church, I always noticed, in most churches really, there tends to be more women than men in church. The pastor, might be a man. You might have a full deacon board, but as far as the congregation itself, there were always more women. And it's crazy because there would be women there, not just single women like trying to get with the pastor or something weird like that. There would be married women in the congregation where they were married, but their husband wasn't coming to church. And it's like, they would testify and they would say, oh, pray for my husband's salvation and things like that, because a lot of men, like they have a very, what's the word I want to say, kind of like detached relationship with God, like where they're not trying to be up in church every Sunday. Maybe that was once upon a time. Maybe nowadays, you will find a lot more men in church. Okay, but from what I get from this here is that it's not just a sexual chemistry that you found with him. If it was just sex with him, then he would have something to worry about as far as like whenever you feel like, okay, you're not getting enough attention from him, then you might go out and you might seek attention from someone else, if it was just that. Okay, but again, if you look at the picture, he's actually holding his crotch. He's holding that. Okay, and the focus is more so, the focus isn't on his genital, the focus is on his crown chakra. So it's like you could be in this relationship with him and it not be about sex. In fact, you probably, like I say, it probably, if you've even been intimate, it probably was a while before he got to be intimate with you, because that's not what you're on. You're looking for a spiritual soulmate. You're looking for not, like that, just how it came out, a spiritual soulmate, not just a soulmate, but like a spiritual soulmate, someone who you can pray with, someone who you can chant with, someone who you can manifest with. Okay, and like he's showing you that. Like I say, I don't necessarily know what religion, what arc of spirituality he's in, but I get whatever it is, it's more in alignment with you, like something that you can you vibe it, essentially. Okay, let me see if I can get any other thing on here. Again, Spirit, if you could advise us on how our feminine energy feels about this masculine in her life. Okay, maybe, let's see here. This card here says, what does that say? Look, let me get my little magnifying glass. I get this from Mama Muffins on Majestic Potions LLC. Like, let me get me a magnifying glass also. So this says nostalgia. Okay, and let me see, do I need to really cover up anything? I don't too much need to cover up this card. Okay, and and that's just it. I think why you like him so much is because with him, you do actually get to be in like this soft girl energy. You do actually get to be feminine. I think in a lot of past relationships, you've had to be a little more in your masculine energy than you care to be. I think in these past relationships, they say that, when a woman doesn't feel safe in the relationship, she'll be more masculine, she'll be more headstrong, she'll be more argumentative, and it's like he has put you, like the way he is, the way he's willing to show up in this relationship, it gives you kind of like a peace. And again, a soft girl energy, and it's not just because he's willing to provide for you, but like willing to like give you the mental clarity, to give you like put away, rest away your own anxieties about anything. You're not worried about this man cheating on you. You're not worried about this man dogging you out. This man doesn't speak to you in ways that make you feel inferior or make you feel less or anything like that. And it's like I say, the connection itself is freaking beautiful, because from what I get from this is that he feels strongly about you, like he feels great, like wow about you, and you have so much appreciation for him. Like you have like a lot of love. You love, like I said, you probably dropped the L bomb, the love bomb to this man as well. But somewhere within here, there's been some kind of like miscommunication where somehow, despite all these efforts between the two of you, you still don't know how you feel about each other. Or there's still times when, what does this card here says? Does this say truth? Exactly. You still, and then truth, they're laying in bed together, but it's like, you don't know how the other feels about you. You don't know how crazy you are about each other. And that's crazy. Look at this. Like when like I say, maybe you two are intimate. Maybe you aren't even just intimate. The intimacy doesn't always have to be physical. This could be a mental intimacy. Maybe you two talk over the phone. Maybe this is a long distance relationship, just getting the downloads here from Spirit. And it's like whatever intimacy it is that you two share, it's like you two put each other's minds at ease. It's like you two are so comfortable around it. You comfort him and he comforts you, but then there's this truth that's miscommunicated, that's not realized, actualized, not even actualized, just realized between the two of you. I'm gonna need y'all to get that together. And maybe that's what the fight was, and maybe that's why now he is at ease. It's because now he's finally coming to this realization that you just want to make sure that he's in this relationship just as much as he wants to make sure that you are in this relationship. You both just want to be comforted in knowing that the other isn't going to walk away, at any slight, at any, moment of like miscommunication or confusion, or, someone not necessarily stepping up fully the way the other wanted or expected. And I think that in this relationship here is what you two do want to work on more than anything, is communication. Research love languages. Find out what his love language is. Understand your love language, and then communicate that to one another. In casual conversation, I'm good for asking them guys, so what's your love language? You know, and see, sometimes, you know, they answer, oh, well, you know, my love language is time. You know, like I show that, you know, I show how I feel about someone by spending time with them. Okay, or if he's like, what do you mean my love language? Educate the brother. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. I want to make this quick video. I do work tonight, so I am going to go ahead and start getting ready for bed so I can be up tonight here. I did want to just drop a quick little video. Like I say, since I got my background that's going to be here, try to jump on camera a little more consistently. I said that like a couple weeks ago and then made like 2 videos since then. I don't know. I'm working on the collective. I'm working on my craft. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate the people who watch these videos. I appreciate people who like the videos. Superman, thank you so much for like commenting on my videos. Just my subscribers, everyone, I appreciate it so much. While again, like, you know, I see some tarot readers and they've been at this for years, you know, and it's like, okay, I recognize that I have a way to go, because it's still only been a few months for me, and then, like, you know, some things happened. I had to take a few months off. But, you know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful. I show my gratitude to, you know, divine, our most high God here, our source. I release you all, collective, with so much love. Be safe, be happy, be easy. Be safe, be happy, be easy. Be safe, be happy, be easy. I'm going to hit the This is your girl, Senpai Swanee, out.